Revelation 1, verses 1 to 3. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must surely come to pass. And he said and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of God, and of the testimony of Jesus Christ, and of all things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Revelation 4, verses 1 to 3.
Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
It's the MacMan Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far. Tune in quick, cause you might just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the MacMan Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far. Just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the MacMan Morning Show. 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 Car, no matter if you're near or far. Tune in quick, cause you might just miss the best show this side of the city. It's the MacMan Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car, no matter if you're near or far.
And grand rising to all of you all that have gotten up on this wonderful Monday and decided to come and chit chat with us. Welcome to the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning and wonderful day to all of you all that are here. Hope your weekend was great. I didn't do much. But it's a rather peaceful weekend. Do a little this, little that. But I'd like to say good morning, grand rising to all of you all. Sharon Reed, our section leader in the choir. Deacon Alvin Moore, chairman of our deacon board. Brother Anthony Reed, who is our apostle to Keisha the stylist. The lock goddess of Memphis, she's here. Also, our chief usher, Alice, the blessed child of God. Alice, I wanted you to, I heard about your fundraiser that you're having. Can you put something in the chat so that we can we can acknowledge it, and we can also support you in what you're doing. Alice has been here since day one, her and Sharon on our platform, and we're just really grateful to have all of you. Right now, it is 5 minutes after the hour of 9 on the Monday, the 24th of March. It's marching out. Pisces season's almost over. I think it's over now. But what a wonderful opportunity to come to you today. A lot's going on gossip wise. A lot's going on about what's been happening within this region, the region that we're in, about the rappers unaliving each other in downtown Memphis. And a lot of people have that's what they have on their mind. Now, mind you, I don't know these people. I'm not going to acknowledge them as far as that's concerned. And yes, we're going to support Alice and her wonderful fundraiser. Good morning, grand rising to all of you, including those that are in the bushes. See, there's a lot of people that are in the bushes. They're not going to acknowledge that they're here, but we always acknowledge the bushes. Good grand rising to all of you. Brother Lee will be here shortly. I was a little okay. Thank you for sending it to me. I appreciate it. And please, let's we talk about Pisces season and everything, because I still got some celebrating to do. No, I don't. But I wanted to say to all of you that as we look at the circumstances that's surrounding our nation today, it is now Aries season, okay? All right. Happy Aries season to all of you. Y'all still in March, so, y'all can still say hello and all those other things. There's a lot of things, like I said, that are going on that people are not aware of. And I've been on the last week. Of course, you all know that I have been bringing you some stories and some information that I really feel that we should need. Don't think that things have calmed down because you have not heard anything. I think that the plans that are going into effect are coming to fruition as we speak. Not to be nervous, not to be upset or anything, but to just be truly informed on what's going on and the solutions to the problem. Now let's look at this for a situation. The rappers in Memphis that got unalived. There was so much coverage and so much intrigue about this situation. People felt that it was and the person has a family, and our regards and our condolences to the family, and all of the speculation that's going on. They said that the person shouldn't have never ever came back to Memphis area, that he but whatever the circumstances, this was broad daylight, right in front of a hotel down there. All of the tourism that they do need, it's bad. You got the pastor who was unalived, brought national attention to what was going on, and now you have this person. Two of them one was unalived and one was injured, and this lifestyle that people are living, this horrible lifestyle that they're living, is causing not just bad publicity, but it's just bad, period. That our young people have gone to the point in their lives that they got to resort to these things. Now, we always had vice. There's always been numbers runners and bordellas, all those things, and gambling and policy numbers and real loan shark and all kinds of things that are going on. And vice has been here before we were even thought of. But because it's going on, and it has always given a negative stereotype to our community as black people and as people of color, we always get the rough end of the stick, even with the black exploitation days. Y'all see the word of today is shenanigator. We'll tell you what that is in a minute. And as we look and see, you know, we're pictured as these savages. And I'm about tired of being folks trying to, we already got it bad. Already and we're within our own race. We put our own folks down. We do all kinds of things. We don't want to see each other make it. We don't want to see each other make it in business or make it and to even achieve the things that they want to, because we got this crab in the barrel mentality. Affordable or not affordable? And that is the question that I want to ask also. Let's look at the affordability of things too when we consider the way that we're living. As the Department of Education is being dismantled as we speak, is being dismantled. And let me see. Let's look at Mississippi. Now, last week, there was that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. On last week, the debate about the income tax. Let me put this up. I'm working this thing today. Let's see. Let me pull this out. Okay. There we go. Okay, Alice, I got you. I'm going to put you back up in a second. But this is what I wanted everybody to see. Evaluating the funding, the educational funding in Mississippi is on a train wreck is getting ready to happen because the Department of Education is getting ready to dismantle and shut down. Now, for places like Mississippi that depends upon federal funds as almost 2/3 of their budget, they depend on federal funds to keep it going. What's going to happen with the education of an already bad educational system? I'm not talking about Flowood, DeSoto County, or any of those other predominant white counties in the southern parts or the east of the state that have, and I'm not knocking because you have nice facilities and everything, but the money is not spread evenly. The federal funds are not spread evenly, you know, and already school systems are suffering because lack of attendance. Now, this is another thing that I wanted to add on to this, is that all of the marching, all of the protests, all of the fighting, and the shouting out loud to have equal education and to be able to have a education for people that were not afforded an education. We were not afforded an education. You say, why you say that? Because they did not want black people to read. They rather keep you in the fields. They rather keep you not knowing. The people perish because of lack of knowledge. It's never been even. So now in 1979, if y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I think I'm right, the Department of Education was considered and created as a cabinet position in 1979. If I'm not mistaken, that was President Carter. Jimmy Carter. And since that time, equal and even federal dollars go to the most serious of states that needed help: West Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama, those southern states where education was not even thought of for those of us that look like me. Education was not on the top priority list. And therefore now, with that situation being in the bus that they are, y'all see them in the yellow bus. Let me take this down for a second. Y'all see him in the yellow. This is his train. This is what he's doing to the people. I'm going to eliminate. I know it takes an act of Congress, but then his executive order causes a lot of stir because now people are sitting back wondering, what are we going to do when we need the resources that we need? Now, in Mississippi, what they're trying to do is take public money and give it to the private schools, the academies. Yes, giving people an opportunity to take those dollars to the places that they want to go. In other words, if your school system is failing and parents decide to take them out of that school system, which we got to figure out what's wrong with the system, what's happening in the classroom with the teachers. Well, until you can have a proper evaluation to see where the lack is. Now, they've been doing this since 1979 now. They've been trying to figure out a way of how we can better educate our children. And it seems like our places of higher learning and even our high schools and grammar schools are closing down because of lack of participation. I believe in choice. I believe that a person should be able to go to the school of their choice. They had a lottery system when I was going to high school. And the smarter students got a chance to pick the best schools, like Whitney Young or Jones Commercial and all of those, major schools. They were downtown. Everybody couldn't go there. They wouldn't accept everybody. Now, like an average below average student like myself, I love Carver, George Washington Carver High School and Argyle Gardens. Taught me I have wonderful experiences with my academics and with my teachers that were concerned. I got a wonderful education there. And even when I left there and transferred to another high school, I still had a wonderful experience at Carver High School at Brennan School when I was in the elementary school. I had wonderful experiences. I learned to read, write, and I learned math, and I learned science. I loved history. I loved history and knowing about history and people and different things, social studies, the things that I was interested in these things, and our education was geared towards that. But there were people in the South, folks, that did not have an opportunity to get the benefits of a decent education. Let's look at the facilities for one. Some of the facilities, Diane Black, you know this as well as all of us. I'd like to say good morning to Diane Black. I know she's coming soon, but when we look at the situations for what they are, the inadequate school system, the maintenance is horrible, the money doesn't go to the right school system. It's there. If all of this federal money is coming for education, why can't we get the educational needs of everybody intact? Why are we going through this? I asked the question. Even in our urban areas, why are our schools and our community the most horrible? And partly done by the people in the community. If you don't take care of where you're living at, if you got bottles and you throwing y'all got gang signs and all kinds of graffiti everywhere and things are tore up and folks don't want to go to school because hustling is the better thing. Now they got you where they want you because they say, well, we know that it was created for poor and underprivileged children, the Department of Education, and to make everything fair. That's why it was created. Now we got a person in the White House that say, I don't care about none of that, and sent the wrestling owner of the wrestling matches to dismantle the Department of Education. McMahon, the McMahon woman. Hulk Hogan's them old boss. The Slim Jim man, the Undertaker, all them folks, some folks I used to look at. The lady that owns the company is the one that's getting ready to dismantle or give them the tools to dismantle or cripple the agency and direct it to other places. We forget that he's the executive. He's the one that's in charge of these departments. He can switch them, do whatever he wants to do. Probably can't dismantle it, but he can cause a disruption. Folks, what am I saying? Our education is so important, and I think that we oftentimes forget how we got the achievements. How did we get a chance to go to college? How did we get a chance to participate in community college or move in advancements or go into to trade schools or anything? The Department of Education had a program that says, hey, these people can go to school. Pell Grants, and yeah, you may have to take out a loan. It depends, but there were it supposed to have been guaranteed that if something happened, the government would cover it. But you find out that there's more student loan debt than anything in the world just to get an education. Do we now? This is the question that I have for our audience as I get ready to go to break. I want y'all to think about this. Should African American children or African American community have their own school district? Again, meaning back in the day it was separate. Now we're talking about segregation again, because we know that the white brethren and folks ain't gonna send their children to our schools. Let's say that we're gonna find out we are in to find out. But yeah, you ain't joking, Alice. We are. I'll be right back, y'all, in a little bit. After we have our first commercial break. You're listening to the MacMan Morning Show. Grand rising to all of you all that are here. Thank you for being here, and we'll be right back.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Our families are precious. We work hard each and every day to make sure that they're safe and secure and have a future. Jones McDonald Insurance Agency, a full-service insurance agency, is here to help you with all of your needs, whether it be life, health, auto, home, or specialty insurance. Call Farmers Insurance Agent Latoya McDonald at 708-722-1538, 708-722-1538. Have you started a business or thinking about doing it? Don't have the right tools or have the right information? Well, I'm glad that you stopped by here. Rolanda Footman has a new ebook called Success Starts Here, giving you the tools necessary to build the winning mindset for entrepreneurs. You can get your free copy of this wonderful ebook by going to thomasandleebusinesssolutions.com, thomasandleebusinesssolutions.com to get your free copy. All MacMan Morning Show listeners will have this opportunity free to have this wonderful periodical that you can add to your business repertoire as far as going back to getting the things that you need for a successful business. thomasandleebusinesssolutions.com to get your free e-copy of Rolanda's wonderful book, Success Starts Here, that surely will give you the necessary tools to build a winning company.
And we're back on the Magman Morning Show. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is 25 past the hour of 9 on this great and wonderful Monday that we have here. I am pleased to say that, wait a minute, hold on a second. I am pleased to say that we are moving forward in our endeavors to bring you great and quality programming. I want to say to all of you, good Grand Rising, good morning. Let me tell you about this here. Shenanigans or a shenanigator. That's a noun. That's a person who instigates. Wait a minute. Put this down here so everybody can see. A person who instigates shenanigans, a shenanigator. Do any of you all know a shenanigator? Shenanigans, foolishness, craziness, so forth and so on. That person that keeps up all kinds of foolishness and everything. But let me tell you this. The attack on the South and on the region in the South is not really surprising to me as a person. It is it really kind of enforces something that, or reinforces something that I've always said. The way you treat where you live is the perception that people will have. If you portray, and we have been portrayed, there are people that are going around in the community and they're videotaping. One videotape that I'm going to share with you, one clip that I'm going to share with you, will show the worst places for African American Black people to live. And unfortunately, the state of Mississippi rated number 1 place to stay away. Now, I got a problem with that. Diane Black, our Congresswoman to be in the 1st Congressional District. I know you're somewhere hiding, not hiding, but she's busy. This is Monday. And for all of us, Keisha the Stylist, Big Red, all of us, all of the people that live in the region, and the bad mouth that they're giving to people. Now, here in DeSoto County in North Mississippi, in the north area right here on the borderline of Memphis, around here where this transportation hub is, you have there isn't a shipping lane, but every train, every box car, everything, it comes over there by train. It comes over to Memphis. Memphis is the mid-south. It's the midway point that you go over to the West Coast. You can also go through Chicago and various places that got straight shots to the West or the East Coast, but you can go across the Mississippi to over into the West Coast. Now, why did I say that? I said that because I think that because of the shenanigans that are going on and have gone on in the state of Mississippi and in the South, people are looking for somewhere to come and have a peace of mind. They sick of all the shooting. They sick of all of the folks doing what they do, the unalivements and all the robberies and all these things. And some people just saying, doggone it, I want a break. Well, let's do this here. I'm going to pull this up. Let's look at what they say about the great state of Mississippi. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Y'all stand by. I'm going to hit it one more time. Hit it again. Hit it again. Wait a minute. Let me do this. That's what I want. Okay, here we go, folks.
Considering moving here, let me save you the trouble. Don't, unless you enjoy racial disparities, underfunded schools, and feeling like you stepped into a time machine that only goes backward.
Now they're talking about Mississippi.
Might not be the move. Let's start with the obvious. Mississippi is historically the most racially segregated state in America. And while it's been a minute since Jim Crow was officially on the books, the vibes are still very much alive. The state is still deeply divided along racial lines, from where people live to what kind of opportunities they have. Black communities here face higher poverty rates, lower wages, and fewer job prospects than almost anywhere else in the country. And let's talk about education, or what Mississippi calls education. The state ranks dead last in school funding and quality, which means if you have kids, you might want to budget for some very expensive tutoring, or just move somewhere else entirely. Because let's be real, Mississippi's public schools have been failing Black children for generations, and the government seems just fine keeping it that way. Oh, and if you thought things couldn't get worse, healthcare is also terrible. Mississippi has some of the worst health outcomes for Black residents, with higher rates of diabetes, heart disease, and infant mortality. The hospitals? Understaffed. The doctors? Scarce. The access to decent medical care? About as rare as a pro-Black Confederate monument. And let's not forget policing, because in Mississippi, the badge doesn't always come with the best intentions. Racial profiling, police brutality, and the highest percentage of reported hate crimes in the country make this a place where you really don't want to get pulled over. If you're Black and driving through certain areas, you're rolling the dice on how that traffic stop is going to go. So unless you enjoy low wages, bad health care, and having to double-check which towns still feel a little too sundowny, Mississippi should be nowhere near your list of places to live. But hey, at least the food is good. Just don't expect the opportunities to be as rich as the gumbo. And there you have it. The 10 states Black.
This was a presentation that was done, and it's many others. Now, this was the most decent one that I could find. The other ones made me so upset because it portrayed a state, a beautiful state, a beautiful place. They describe it as a hellhole. And with all of the problems in the South for Black people and the sundown towns, yes, they still have them. They're still looking for people. Truckers avoid stopping in certain places in Mississippi. They don't stop in those sundown towns that they have right now. In 2025, we still have this problem. And you say to yourself, okay, Mr. Magman, morning show and Mag Media production man, all right, now, well, people are tearing up their areas and everything, and people don't want to live around other folks. You got the Section 8 people, and they always putting somebody in a box. Always. We're the first, they say, on welfare. We're the first ones to get the free this. We're the first one to get the free food. We're the first ones to do the. This is what they're saying about us. And this is what they're saying about this state of Mississippi, that they're saying to people, Black folks don't come here. Well, where are we supposed to go? Y'all chase us from here, there, can't live in the cities. There's all kind of foolishness going on and everything. What does a person do that want to have a good start, nice school? There are wonderful schools in Mississippi, wonderful places of higher education opportunities so far until the man with the orange makeup decides that he wants to take away those things and eliminate those things and strives that we've had during the civil rights movement. They want to turn it all backwards. You've heard that before also. What am I saying to our audience? I say each and every day, as we educate ourselves and learn that there is a way that we can survive, we can always survive, we are survivors. It's survival mode now, folks. You got to start planning for what the educational, how we're going to educate our children, those that really want to go. I saw some sad statistics about school district that pays their superintendent almost $500,000 a year, and all of the kids are failing. Out of all of the like maybe 3,000 students, 103 are on reading level. 300 and out of that amount of students that they have, They have, but maybe maybe 300, 333 that are on reading and math levels out of all that student body, out of all that money that's being given. And the districts have become predominantly black. I got a problem with that. Let's stop right there for a second. And I'm, like I said, I'm not anti-white. I'm just pro-black. Why is it that when school districts, and when it comes down to the school districts of black people, you superintendents of education, teachers, and so forth and so on, something is disconnecting from the suburban schools to the urban schools, from the white schools, as they say, to the black ones. You can have two systems in Mississippi, like the academies. That's where the white folks used to be, and you had the public school system that was left over from what the Caucasian people left. Forgive me for saying white this early in the morning. Now, the academies look like college campuses. They got the best equipment. They got the best facilities. They got the best academia. They got the best teachers. They got the best food. And over at the across the road, over at the public school, where we got fighting, we got folks paying more attention to. They want to go on prom more than they want to even learn, or the SATs or something like that. Learning is not encouraged. Not all teachers. I got teachers in my family in certain school districts. I'm not blaming them, but what's going on with the students that we have? There was a time where you had to beg folks to let you come to school. My mother, who is not ashamed to say, and she say it and tell folks, well, I've always said that she had a fourth grade education. And why did she just have maybe the support? She just went to fourth grade because she had to work in the labor in the fields to pick cotton and beans or whatever they had out there. She had to labor and work certain times of the year. No black children. Are you listening to me? No black children. Because they didn't have white children out there picking no cotton or nothing like that. If they did, it was so rare and scarce. Them folks had to really show enough be poor and broke to be out there. They wasn't overseers or something like that. You know, I have never seen white person pick any kind of cotton. I ain't never seen it. So y'all ain't never seen it. If it's natural, do they do? I don't know. I'm not saying that, but there was some, I mean, just segregation, period. The separate washrooms, the separate eating facilities, the separate places. You could, oh, we want your money, but you can't eat here. You can't. So all of those days of segregation, this man is trying to bring back, and he's starting with the very things that's going to really hurt us, our economy, and our educational system. We got HBCUs. We have Howards. We got Morehouse, and all of these Texas A&M, Texas College, A&T, or what have you, over in all of these colleges, Chicago State, places that I know, Coahoma Community College, where black people are there. Valley State, yes, good band, but what are we going to do when they start closing and taking away the money from the Department of Education, saying that they're going to allot it to other people, and other departments are going to be responsible for dishing out a constitutional right, I believe, that every child, every person in America that wants to learn should have an opportunity to learn. What do you all think? What do you all think about if you didn't have the education that you had, or had the opportunity to at least go to community college? You got out of high school. Okay, that's a wonderful feat. It used to be all you needed was a high school diploma for a lot of jobs. Now you need some excellent, some intense training on some of the things in order to keep up with the economy that's getting ready to come. What are we going to do about this economy that we're going to be in? How are we going to make it and survive? Do we have a plan? Is there a plan in place? Can we plan? Is there something that we can do? And I ask these questions not to antagonize people or to say that, well, there's nobody that has financial information of any kind. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that Hey, Miss Rolanda, I want to say hi. I know I seen you. I got your message, and I see that you sent me a message. And what we have to do is we got to really sit down and look at it. Now, if what we're doing and our planning and our resources are where we have them, okay, you work, you got a certain amount that you got to pay this, you got to pay that, and you have your monthly budget. We all have a budget. Everybody has a budget. And now this budget is going to be upset because you don't know where you're going to get the resources to fulfill the needs that you have. They're messing with the social security system. They're messing with the tax system. You know, all of these things that are going on today. And right now, it just seems like nobody's really affected by it. They just passed a measure that they're trying to fix, and they're going to have to fix in the Mississippi legislature about the income tax. Where are they going to get this money from when 2/3 of their budget comes from the federal government? When you depend on federal money, yet you don't want to expand Medicaid and Medicare. Poor people are the last ones to get the resources. We can't live healthy. Oh, we need to live healthy. I mean, how can we do it when we can't? We got food deserts everywhere. We got the money, but we got to travel all the way out to other places to get something to eat. Towns and cities are going to put because why? We're not. I mean, it just seems like people are saying. I mean, they're telling. Here's the state that gets the most federal money next to West Virginia, and they're advertising this foolishness on social media that this is the last place that they want you to live, and that's a sad indictment on the state of Mississippi. That people, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you know, everybody has their problem, but why is it so bad? If you want racial discrimination, this and that, the other. Now, we've all had our experiences. If you've been to Mississippi, you've had your experiences. But now, as you see, and as you continue to understand and see what's going on and happening, you know where it's coming from. See, it's one thing that people do down here, and they're having their elections now. And people are looking for us to vote as black people to vote for them, and they don't have our best interests at heart. Let's talk about DeSoto County, Mississippi for a second. They have a place called the Landers Center. And the Landers Center is like the biggest arena right here in North Mississippi, holds a whole lot of shows and sporting events, cars, and you know, they had a monster trucks and hockey and Disney on Ice and Cat Williams and all of the blues festival at the Landers Center packs it out. Even, well, of course, Cat Williams does too, but those major acts that come in between the South, they stop at the Landers Center. Well, there's some people in this county and the county of DeSoto that are saying that we don't want the black people in their shows in our place anymore. We're paying for it. The citizens are paying for it. Black and white are paying for it. They're getting ready to build a convention hotel. Now, who's going to stay there? These are some people that say if you live in the town, in the area, Horn Lake, South Haven, or whatever the case may be, there's some hotels that will not let you stay overnight. Now, what if you had an emergency or some work done on your house and you wanted to stay there? Hey, Sherry, hey, now, okay, that's our correspondent from up there. And Dawn, you know, she was on the hiatus of the internet and things. So she's been off the grid like a lot of folks like Miss Rolanda and the rest of them. We welcome you, sister. It's good to have you. Now, you have a situation where, now, how do we survive? Now, those of you that got young kids, think about this. You got babies. You want your babies to advance. You want them to go to school, do something. You want them, I hope you just don't want them to be no fashion model on the internet and the social media. They cute and all that other stuff, wearing whatever they want to do or whatever. And these children just get so emancipated with and get so enthroned with social media that becomes their life. They think that it is one social media or one, what do they call them? reality shows. You know, I mean, people got their faces in their cameras. Now, that's just technology. That's where we are. But what are we going to do about our education of our children that is under attack? We were saying over and over and over and over and over. And Brother Lee, if you're listening to me, I did send you the link, sir. I did send it to you so that you can get in. But I wanted to explain to you all that there is. I quoted some numbers from a school district. I'm sure you're familiar with, Sherry. And if you can give me a little advice on the school district, the Dalton School District, that superintendent is making almost $500,000, and the academics is going down. And the number, this is just one school system. I'm not talking about Chicago public schools, New York public schools, Los Angeles, or a big place that's a Houston or Atlanta or something like that. We're talking about a small school district that has a superintendent. One, I don't know where they got this guy from or whatever, but he's a quiet type of Tiffany. He ain't making no noise. He ain't hooting and hollering. Y'all probably wouldn't have known the man was making the kind of money, but it was kind of quiet. Everybody was quiet. And then they renewed his contract. Versus here in Memphis, where they had a superintendent, where the children were making progress, even in their academics, they were making progress. And they got rid of the lady because she was making the progress, getting rid of all those uncertified teachers or those teachers that had somebody to take their entrance exams. See, those exams that the teachers have to take in order to teach and get their licenses. A lot of them were taking those, letting some other people take their tests, and they were becoming certified teachers and couldn't spell cat. Mm-hmm. Because you know somebody, or I know somebody, they done hooked me up and they got me a teacher's license, and now I have a teacher's license and I can teach in the state of Mississippi. It's a check. They paid the person to do it. That person gets a residual. You go into the school system. Brother Lee is here. You go into the school system and you got you a job. You a gym teacher. You are some kind of whatever, and not even qualified to do the job. Yet they got rid of the superintendent that was setting everything in order. They got rid of that person. What's going on? The foundations. How we going to eat? How we going to survive? How our children going to learn? This is the MagMan Morning Show. I'd like to say hello to everyone. We're going to take a quick break. This is our second break that we're going to be taking, and we'll be back right after these messages. Brother Lee has arrived. He's been here in the studio with us, and we're going to put the link out. If you got any comments that you'd like to share, or if there's anything that you'd like to say, come on the MagMan Morning Show. You can come on, and we're going to put the link in the chat. Wait a minute, let me do this maneuver before we get a situation. I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning real good. There we go. I'm putting it into the chat right there. And wait, let me see what. Okay, Sherry, we'll be right back with that. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go to break real quick. This is the MagMan Morning Show. We're going to be right back after our commercial break that we have right now.
Our families are precious. We work hard each and every day to make sure that they're safe and secure and have a future. Jones McDonald Insurance Agency, a full-service insurance agency, is here to help you with all of your needs, whether it be life, health, auto, home, or specialty insurance. Call Farmers Insurance Agent Latoya McDonald at 708-722-1538, 708-722-1538.
We're gonna have good If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
And we're back on the MacMan Morning Show. Listen, get your taxes done, and we're almost at that point. I think April the 15th is the deadline for your taxes. Listen, Michelle Franklin's tax service is her full service tax service that she has. We've been talking about this, and you need to get in touch with her. Get your taxes done as soon as you can. Listen, free estimates without leaving home. Convenient ways to receive your refund. Personal, business, and 1099 customers are welcome. Schedule your free estimate today. If you do business with Michelle and she does business, y'all do business with each other. If you get your refund, she will give you a 3-day, 2-night vacation in the lower 48, anywhere in the lower 48 that you would like to go, up to $7,000 in advances. Call Michelle right now at area code 708-296-3133. That's 708-296-3133. Pizza Pro XL down in Marks, Mississippi just had their job fair that they had, and I heard that it was pretty successful. But listen, Pizza Pro XL is going to be open for lunch and for dinner, and you can choose your wonderful entrees will be delivered within the I think it's a 4-county area, but if you call area code 662-326-3006, you can get all that pertinent information. Don't y'all forget, summer is coming, hot weather's coming. Boy, I can't wait, because I want one of these towering daiquiris or what have you. But I'm hoping that everyone that was at the job fair, that you got the position that you probably was looking for, or you might have something else. And we want to just salute Sister Bridget on all that she's doing and how she is helping that community. And that is a wonderful thing. I'd like to say good morning to Diane Black, the next Congresswoman, I hope and pray, of the state of Mississippi. I want to say hi to our dear friend. And I know that she's listening, one of our great supporters here on the MacMan Morning Show. Brother Lee is here. I've been talking to Brother Lee about some things that I just, we, like you said, there got to be some solutions to what's going on. And I had this conversation with a person the other day, and they were saying to me, they said, man, I wouldn't put my kids in public school. I don't want them in the schools in the city. I want them to live better, and I don't want them to be around those kids in the ghetto and all these things. And we're trying to make a better life for ourselves, but yet instead of all the suburban way of life is not working out for a whole lot of people, Brother Lee, when it comes down to with the divisions that are going on about education and about different other things. I just wanted to know, because it's such a concern that people have. They got these concerns that they have. And all I wanted to know was, as just a person on the outside looking in, it just really shocks me about how the educational system is, not just in Mississippi, but everywhere in communities that look like ours, and how important education is. Brother Lee, come on in, say your grand risings and so forth to our audience, and I got to ask a question after you give your brief.
Well, I'll say great day, everyone, and new beginnings. Yeah, my brother, you was talking about education. Go finish your point.
Okay, now the school districts and our correspondent up in the Dalton area, that's Sherry Hatcher-Britton, gave us some stats that she had that I want to share with you all. And she was making a clarification that the district that I was talking about, District 148, has approximately 8 schools in this district, and it has 2,000 students, and she wanted to make sure that we were clear that this is the Riverdale Dalton school district. The district is actually uh, in the village of Riverdale. Okay, now I wanted to also. She says that no one attends those meetings. That's the problem I got too, and that's why they got away with this. And when they spoke up about this. Uh, they begged them to table the decision because they were going to push it through. That's why it's so important for those of you that are in your communities to go to your council meetings, go to your school district meetings, go to the meetings and find out what's going on, folks. Hey there. Good morning, Mrs. Diane. How are you? She's not, well, you not in the bushes, you just in the holding pattern, you over yonder. But it's you say you never seen white folk pick cotton. Me, I ain't seen nothing like that either. But what I wanted to say is, Brother Lee, that with the information that we had, now this is one school district. And when we were going to school, I mean, I don't know whether they were taking a barometer or whatever, trying to gauge it, but I got a good education in the public school system. But what about this wastefulness, Brother Lee, and the money that they giving these people don't match any kind of goals that they reach with these kids, or they just throw them to the back and it's just a paycheck. What you think, brother?
Well, um, it's just like if you were to go to McDonald's. Let's say you go to McDonald's and you get bad service from the people there at the window or at the cash register. Do you complain to the people at the cash register that they're giving you bad service, or do you go to the management? And that's what you do. You know, when you go to certain places, you get certain kinds of service, you get a different kind of outcome. It's just like in the school system. You know, you can't, yes, the teachers has a certain responsibility that they have an accountability for what they do, but they are accountable to their management, to their principal, to the superintendent, to the politicians that hire these superintendents, these principals, these teachers, and they're not evaluated and they're not responsible, not just once a year, but you have to constantly monitor and make sure that they're doing the job that they were hired to do. And we as parents and residents and people who live in these communities have a responsibility, even if you don't have any children in that system. See, because you're going to pay for that, not having uh going up there and being responsible and monitoring and making sure everything is right. It's because these kids are going to drop out of school, they're going to be on the street, and they're going to be a problem, not just to themselves but to the community. And we're trying to make the community stronger by educating our kids the right way. And every education is not the right kind of education. You can get knowledge, what we call knowledge, but it's not the not thing that we need to go forward. And the books that they are teaching, that's just going over to the books that they're teaching in school. It's not right. I mean, it's not updated. They're teaching it antiquated, the way they teach mathematics, the way they teach arithmetic and trigonometry and calculus and all of these things are not being taught in the right way. I mean, they have to look at okay, you look at society, you look at the economy, you look at what you need, and then put it into a curriculum that the kids can do and move forward as far as when they get out here in society. Kids take a liberal arts when they get to college. That is such a broad thing. You can't get a position, a job, in liberal arts. I mean, that's just like saying, you're going to creative thinking. That's not that's not a class. That's not something that you can use toward applying to a position or a job when you get out here in what we call society. And that's the thing. We have to closely monitor what we're being given. Money is being allocated to the school systems, and you know what? We're not getting what we put in. and they're pulling taxes out of the residents that live. Everybody's paying, and they're not getting what they should get. Like Trump said, he likes the uneducated, so he has no interest in education whatsoever, because the dumber you are, the more you can be led. And we have to, like the you were talking about the guy talking about he didn't want his kids in the public school system. Okay, he can afford to put them in a private school. That's hooray for him. But those same kids in that public school system will affect him eventually. It will get to him eventually. Those kids that are educated and don't have a position, can't get a job, they will be out there on the streets. And what you think they're gonna do? It's not gonna be positive. So, and it will affect him too. It will affect his kids that getting an education, that may go through those communities or run into those kids and that are now grown ups and find out that he's got an issue. So we're all responsible for education, even if we don't have a direct stake in it. We don't have live in those communities. It's the least of us. We have to. The bottom has to lift. If you help the bottom, it lifts it. It gets everybody. We all rise. And see, we never think about that. We don't think about it. But if we help the least of us, it goes up and it helps all of us. But see, we always have, well, I'm gonna do what's right for me and I'm gonna do it right for my family. Now, if you're living in a bubble, that stuff works. If you're living in a bubble, what he said makes sense. But we don't live in a bubble. We live out here in society, what they call society. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. If we don't get our heads out of our butts and start realizing that it will affect us in ways that we can't run from. The suburbs is not a shelter. It's not a place where you can go. It's not a sanctuary. We act like suburbs is a sanctuary because they have a better education and they have more security, police, and all of this other things, and they get dealt with better. Yes, that is maybe true, but eventually that what we call the ghettos will touch everywhere. And that's the thing we have to understand. And I keep saying it is we are not like them. Why do we behave like them? We are so brainwashed to think that their way of life is for us. And we just say, oh man, it's good over there. Let's go over there. And we put our money into their communities and uplift them and find out that, it's not working for us. And I know this for a fact. You can go in a white suburb, Caucasian suburb, and I'm gonna tell you something. They don't want you there. You're there. You're not wanted there, but you say I have a right to be there around people that don't want me. You got your kids in schools that the teachers don't want you there. And the principals don't want their kids there. They'll put them in those behavior classes right away. Those kids, your kids can be highly intelligent, very above average intelligence, and still be put in those classes where they have behavior classes. They're especially created for us black folks. They especially created for us Africans. They put our kids in those, and if you don't go up to those schools, I'm gonna tell you something, your kids will get an inferior education. And it's about our participation in this educational system that'll make a difference for our kids to do better. Even if I don't have any kids in education, I got grandkids in the education system, but I still go up there because I pay taxes. I'm like, I'd be doggone if I don't go in there and I don't complain and see what these kids are eating with my money, see how they're being taught with my money. Just because I don't have any kids, I'm gonna put a hand in there. I'm gonna make sure I make some noise and make sure these kids are getting educated properly. And that's all of our responsibilities. See, and we can't not just let stand by and watch and complain and say, why don't somebody do something? We are that somebody. And that's the thing we have to understand. And we got to start coming up with problems. We got plenty of problems, but we don't have any solutions. We need to start being a solution based people, solving our own problems, solving problems, problem solvers, not problem whiners. We got to stop whining and start making something happen. And I'm going to tell you something, life is wonderful. I get up every day, and every day to me is like Christmas. I don't look at the problems. I look at the solutions. I look at what God has given me. And I see people. I've been in the ICU. I've been there myself. I've been Man, a lot of us have been in the hospice and we saw people just pass away and all they wanted. And I'm gonna tell you this before I turn it back over to you, Brother Mac, is that you know what? I've been in the hospital, I've been in the ICU, I've been written off for dead. My kids stood around the bed and they was trying to figure out who was gonna pull the plug. And I was laying there in the bed. I'm like, I'm not gone yet. They're like, well, we got to decide which one of y'all got the nerve to pull the plug when it's the time. And God so gave His
Don't
grace.
say they
He,
wasn't around the bed taking that no brother D, was they?
yeah, they didn't have the nerve to pull the plug, and one of them stood up and said, "I'll do it," when it needs to be done. And I'm like, I'm not gone yet, and that's the thing. And you know what? When you're laying in that bed and you're thinking about what all you want, or what all the things you left, you're not thinking about any things. You're not thinking of any houses, any money. You're thinking about family. You think about the last breath you take. You want more breath so you can be around the people that you care about. You want to breathe the air. You want to be up and out. You don't think about how much money you got in the bank. And that's the thing. When you laying there in hospice, that ain't not even the last thing on your mind. Money is not the last thing. Money is not even in your vocabulary. Property is not even in your vocabulary. You thinking about give me a few more minutes with the people that I love. And that's what we have to understand. The things that really matter. It's not how much you got, it's how big your heart is. And it's how many people you touched positively on your way out. Because eventually we're all going to die. We're all going to go. No question about it. We're going to die. You just don't know when. And we run around like we got an eternity and we don't. We should act like the time is running out. We should act like we don't have a minute to lose, but we don't. And that's how we should start living our life like we don't have a minute to lose, and every second is precious. That's what I have to say, my brother. I turn it over to you.
Well, and in retrospect, as we look at it, um, the importance of participation in what's going on where you're paying your taxes and not just paying your taxes, but you're carrying the load. The people that are working, the middle class people that are getting out, breaking their necks every day, are the people that keeping things going. And we're just, it's just welcome Miss Smith, Miss Lowe Smith. See it. Oh, okay. She's saying Sherry, she's one of your biggest fans, and Sherry, like you said, if things had not been brought to the forefront about what's going on, and look at how quiet everybody is. Everybody quiet about the money. There's almost a $500,000 this man makes for this school district of 8 schools now. Now the superintendent in Chicago, uh, as I found out, makes that kind of money or whatever the case may be. Look at the student ratio that he has versus where you have. It's just some mismanagement going on. I don't understand it with the scores that these kids have and the achievements that that are not there. It's like
I would
throwing
like to
well,
say,
something is wrong somewhere. Come on, brother Lee. Come on.
I would like to say, we have to go back down to okay, like private industry, they pay you according to performance based. When you're a public servant, you don't get paid for performance based. You get paid because it's based on what somebody else is making. You make it. They don't take it. They don't take any of that money away if you do a poor job. They keep paying you. And he says, yeah, he want to make $500,000, but what's your performance? I mean, what have you been done? I mean, it should be these positions should be performance
I
based.
agree.
It should be
I
based
agree.
on what you do. If you're not doing the job, you shouldn't get paid. We should pay you by the jobs jobs that you do. If you're doing a great job, if your superintendent job and where you district or you are, and if your kids are doing great in that community, you should be given a raise. But if you're not, you should be given then we should take some money away. And if you don't like it, get another job.
Yeah.
That's what I
But I mean,
think.
you got
That's
these, you got the DEI folks in the school system. They don't believe this though. I never forget it. I'm gonna go to. Let me go to a quick break, real quick. I'm gonna let y'all stand by 1 second. I got an announcement about tomorrow's show also that we're going to make. We got Rolanda Footman is going to be in on tomorrow. And I got to let y'all in on something that she's trying to do. Listen, we're going to just say hey to our sponsors, and we'll be right back after these messages. Stick around, Brother Lee. Hold on, everybody. We'll be right back.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Our families are precious. We work hard each and every day to make sure that they're safe and secure and have a future. Jones McDonald Insurance Agency, a full-service insurance agency, is here to help you with all of your needs, whether it be life, health, auto, home, or specialty insurance. Call Farmers Insurance Agent Latoya McDonald at 708-722-1538, 708-722-1538.
Let me remind you of St. Patrick's, our patron, uh, Tiffany Kamar, and her wonderful business that's getting ready to have their soft grand opening real soon. We're in negotiations right now to do the broadcasting, so we're working it out right now with them. Don't y'all forget about St. Patrick's. I heard something, Miss Sherry Britton. So y'all went there and y'all took Valerie Stubbs was there, and I got the video. So y'all should have told me. I got the video of it, and we're grateful for St. Patrick's. Listen, Rolanda Footman is coming back to the McMahon Morning Show on tomorrow morning. She has a new clinic that she's starting. And let me tell you, folks, the effects are coming. If you feel are you laid off, you feel stuck, you feel like you don't know what's going to happen or what have you, we ask that you would participate in this free workshop that Rolanda is going to be having. It's right here on the screen. We're going to have more information about this on tomorrow. She'll be here with us on tomorrow. Brother Lee is still here with us, and we're just going to, this is his segment, and I wanted him to come, but let me look at some of our statements from our guest on this morning, who we'd like to thank you all for coming. Sherry is saying, yeah, he wants to patent his retirement, and he's doing a good job. The man sat there at the meeting like it wasn't nothing going on. We're going to have his routine, and Sherry and Miss Price came up in there and Say, hold up, wait a minute now, because there's some shenanigans going on. I keep trying to tell you, it's shenanigans and foolishness is going on, and folks, we got to keep ourselves aware of what's going on. Now, let's see what Miss Smith says. Miss Smith says it amazes me how many people don't know the basics of how civic. I keep saying it on the local level, how civics is on the local level. And the power that we truly have. You got power. You got a right to say and a right to put the right people in the positions, not because they're the political friends of somebody, but listen, who better to help a school district than a parent, male or female, that has an interest in what's going on and what's happening. And Sherry says this. Let's see here. Is that he's doing a horrible job? Of course he is. He's doing a horrible job, to put it mildly. He is not the only one. There's Ford Heights. They got two schools, 415 students. Ford Heights, folks, is at one time was a thriving suburban Cook County community. When the era of the steel mills and the auto plants were, Fort Heights was the place to be. I mean, it was nice, had a wonderful government until corruption came in. That's a force of another color. But this and Fort Heights, two schools, 415 students, poor perform. Look at this here, poor performance, and the superintendent makes $422,000 a year. Listen, something's got to be. Or am I in the wrong profession? If I can be a superintendent and make that much, I ain't got to do nothing. And the kids around there can't read, can't add and subtract, can't multiply or anything like that. But I can make 420. I'm in the wrong business. Somebody help me out here, Brother Lee. As we look at all of these situations that's going on, I know you got a little more to say. Come on, you got the floor, sir.
Well, I like to say, yeah, it's an outrage, but you know what? That just goes to show you they're padding their own pockets before they even take care of the kids. The kids are no longer top priority. They're not any priority. They're not even on the list. It's a way for these politicians and these administrators to make money. I mean, when you're overpaid and you're doing a job that's way under par, and you're looking to get this kind of money for a position, and you're not really concerned about the kids. I mean, it just shows you that public office pays, whether you do your job or not. And we have to be outraged for that. Look, he'll you know what, if you had him on your show, he'll say, well, so and so in the next state, he makes that kind of money. But that's not justification just because somebody else is overpaid. He can't point to somebody else saying, well, he making that kind of money, I should make it, but you're not doing the job. And that just because that city or that town is letting him that one get away with murder, we don't have to do the same thing. It has to stop somewhere. We have to say, okay, we can get qualified people, but we don't have to overpay for qualified people. And he seemed qualified on paper, but I think it's more like who you know than what you know. So we have to, as people, I mean, we got to stop letting our politicians interview and interview our people in these positions. We got to have them on a forum where they sit and answer questions from us before we approve that they can be hired. Because the people that we putting in charge to hire these people, they're not doing a good job. And so that's the thing. We got to start taking it in our own responsibility to have a what you call a meeting, and when we have to vote in a position like that. We have to interview these people. We have to look into their background and not give them a 2 year, a 5 year, a 6 year contract. No, give them like they do at your job, 90 days. If they can prove themselves in 90 days, then we might give you another 6 months. And then if you can do it, we'll go 6 months by 6 months, or give you a whole year, see what you're doing. If you can't turn it around in that period of time, you're out of there. If you don't want the job, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people that would love to make that kind of money, and they would do a great job at it. That's what I have to say.
Well, this is the MacMan Morning Show. Listen, we want to thank all of you for participating on this morning. Thank Sherry and thank Miss Lola for being participant. And she said something. Churches, y'all need to get together. We need to get it together, start educating our community. And I agree with you 100%. The church got to get involved. Somebody, we got to get ourselves together, folks, and meet these challenges head on. Listen, this is the Magman Morning Show, a brand new week. Like I said on earlier, Rolanda Footman will be here tomorrow with details about her new free workshops. She's going to come in with some other information. It should be really wonderful for us. Pertaining to businesses, there's a lot of things that are getting ready to happen in the business world, tax-wise and otherwise. We got to be familiar with. But listen, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 10 a.m. on the East Coast, right here on the Magman Morning Show. Good day to all of you, Grand Rising, for those of y'all that just getting up and everything. Hey to the bushes, and to everybody that has participated. We'll see you on tomorrow.
It's a Magman Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home when you're in your car. Magman Morning Show. No matter if you get far. Magman Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. Magman Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's a Magman Morning Show. It's a Magman.